Let's talk about one of the plays of the game, and a very important point of this play will be the gunner that's closer towards the bottom of the screen. He's going to be a good example of why this punt isn't going to work for Philadelphia. The point in the game, the Eagles are currently down a point and they're punting on a 4th down and 3, which is a decision I've made a whole video about how I don't think that was the right call in general. But regardless, they are punting here, and let's talk about why this punt went so poorly. So it's going to be a bad punt. That's just something, I think we know that if we watch the Super Bowl, but again, going to be a bad punt. It's going to be too far towards the top of the screen and kind of a line drive punt as well. I'm just highlighting the gunner. There's other Eagles players that do it as well, but we're talking about containment towards the bottom of the screen. Just watch what he does. Watch how when this play begins, he actually starts this off very well, but then at a certain point, he has to completely adjust what he's doing to get closer towards the top of the screen, as that's where Toney has run. And there's several Philadelphia players who do this. Due to the sort of line drive nature of the punt, they're kind of now hurrying to get over towards the top of the screen to help impact the play. The issue is that there is no containment now towards the bottom of the screen. However, the benefit is you have like 9 guys right around Kadarius Toney, so maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, right? All that has to happen is one of these Eagles players has to go over and tackle him. I mean, it's almost like he's getting surrounded by Philadelphia players, and you should be okay. The issue is that Toney is very shifty. Watch him make this move, and then he cuts towards the bottom of the screen, and all of a sudden, all the Kansas City players who were there, who seemingly were out of the play, are now into this play, and there's blockers everywhere as there's no Philadelphia player on that side of the field. This is the part that I think is really the most important part by Toney, because, again, if they only got a field goal here, it would not have been as big of a deal. I mean, they're currently up 3 points, so the difference between, they're currently up 1 point, so the difference between 1 and 4 matters, but it's not the end of the world, and as we know, the Eagles would score a touchdown, so that means they would have taken a lead. Toney wants a touchdown, and he wants to, at the very least, give him as many yards as possible to make it easier for a touchdown to occur, and there's several ways you could go about it. I think plenty of players might have even stepped out here, or would have tried to cut back towards the middle of the field, trying to get as many yards as possible, because, very quickly you're expecting that there's going to be not as much room towards a sideline for him to go, but he's just going to trust his blockers and run forward and hope it works out. And as you see, his blockers reward him with great blocks all the way up until he gets to the 10 before finally getting taken down, or before having to even move at all. Finally gets taken down at the 5-yard line. Great running from Toney. Not a very good punt, and I think the Eagles still struggled a little bit there was some guys who could have contained him and maybe got a little bit lazy and just assuming someone else would make the tackle and trying to get over there. You're trying to make a play. You're trying to make something happen. Lazy is not the right word, but just a bit maybe didn't treat Toney with as much as respect as he deserves. You kind of got to view certain punt returns a little bit different, right? Make sure that if they break something to the outside, you're in position to still make a tackle instead of trying to go and make a big play and tackle him for, negative yards or something like that. That's what I think about that play. Good stuff from the Chiefs, not great stuff from the Eagles. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.